I have figured it out. It all boils down to this. Why I am so absolutely terrible at free-to-play accounts. I may have been playing for 4 years, but it is what it is, and we're gonna dive into just why I'm the worst free-to-play player and out of anybody. What up, team? It's your boy MurderInc here. As we all know, I started my first free-to-play series ever, right? I've gone over this before in the first video I made when I first started this. I've been playing for the longest out of pretty much every single remaining content creator as of this moment, and I haven't seen anybody that has a start date on their original account that goes back as far as mine. So why am I the worst free-to-play player? I noticed a lot of comments on the last video, which is why I'm bringing this up. A lot of people were saying, you're making so many mistakes, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and I didn't really realize why players thought this way until I had an epiphany. The first thing I realized is there is that Hell Hades challenge going on that a lot of people are participating or watching, and what they're mainly looking at are the leaderboards. Now, the people who were doing this, they were recommending things to me, and I'm saying, are you playing a spreadsheet? What you're saying is not realistic for any type of progression. And that's when it dawned on me. They were talking about rushing these champions to 6-star, and it's basically going to be a dead account after 3 or 4 months, but that's the point for them, right? They're looking to rush. They're not going to be playing these accounts for 6 months, a year, so they're not really approaching it like a normal free-to-play player. They are getting as many 6 stars as possible. They're rushing to get as much energy as possible, and that's just the way they formulated how to do this. Now, the problem with that is, if someone that's free-to-play is watching it, and they try to copy that, they're going to get stuck really, really fast. So the first thing that people were saying is, why are you waiting for this? Where is it? I don't even think the Ronda thing is here. No, it was replaced by Jizo, because I'm currently on, let's have a look here. So I'm on day 14. Day 14, well, technically I'm day 13. I just claimed the 500 energy. Huge, by the way, and I'm struggling the free-to-play life of silver. Where's all the silver? That's what I'm trying to know. So as you can see here, I don't have the gem mine unlocked. I made a video about this, how it's a huge trap. Don't unlock the gem mine until you have nothing to spend your gems on, which is going to be, you unlock the gem mine when it's going to pay itself in full by the time you get the amazing, where is she? She's not, she is right, Drakes. So Drakes is what I calculated a long time ago, as far as you should unlock the gem mine X amount of days before Drakes. I forget how long it takes for the gem mine to pay itself off, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, I don't remember. Someone can remind me in the comments, but I said whenever the payoff is, you want to do it so the payoff happens as soon as Drakes comes out. Why is that? Because you're going to be gaining gems along the way there, and you want to be able to instantly mastery Drakes because she's a crazy strong champion. However, prior to that point, gems mean so much to an early game account because there's literally nothing to do, and it's going to slow your progress down if you invest the initial 500 gems into the gem mine, waiting to gain it back. Are you going to get a little bit? I mean, let's look at the details here. So you're going to be getting 1 gem every 4 hours and 48 minutes, up to a capacity of 5. So what can you do with 5 gems? Time until full, a day and 2 minutes. So what can you do every day and 2 minutes with 5 gems? Not a lot, right? You need 40 gems for a refill. You need even more if you want to consider mastering a champion. So that is why I always recommend to delay this. And people should know that if they're in this free-to-play competition, because like I said, they are rushing. They're not sitting around doing these challenges, which I am not that happy with. We all know about the RNG of these challenges, like win a 5-star. What are the odds of getting a 5-star? It's taken me hundreds of energy, but it's something to do and it's fun. Arena, I've gotten really lucky. I'm not going to lie here. I am in Gold 1. I have been in Gold 1 since the last reset. I think I hit Gold 1 on day 8 because I invested into Ronda instead of Kael. Now listen, a lot of people were talking about Kael and said he is your first 6-star no matter what. And I remember from this in the past, because I've done a lot of account work for people, I do know how good Kael is, okay? So this is another thing people were saying, you're crazy wrong for doing this. I get how good Kael is. However, this is the one thing that people didn't really understand as far as what I was trying to do here. Kael is an awful champion on Red Affinity. You are going to be facing Red Affinity all the time, literally all the time when you're progressing through this. You know who doesn't suck on Red Affinity despite being a Blue Affinity champion? Rhonda. Yes, Rhonda's damage is mastery damage. That's where the bulk of her damage comes from. And weak hits don't matter for mastery damage at all. So, don't believe me? Fine. That's why I'm here to show you what she can do in Red Affinity here. So one thing that's really important, especially in this game, is going to be clan boss early on. I'm lucky, and you're going to see throughout this video in the kind of downtime of me explaining things, I hit my personal best being over 9 million damage on Brutal. Of course, the image in front of us here is going to be something that was a few days ago for sure, but I can now 3-key Brutal, and I am not far into the game at all. So this image is going to be interesting for a few reasons here. Now, don't jump to conclusions just yet. We're facing the Red Affinity of Brutal here. Kael is 59. I get he's not 60. I do understand that. Then we have Geomancer, who doesn't fall off at all in the scheme of things, and then Rhonda, who is a Blue Affinity champion. No matter what I do to Kael, give Kael the best gear in my account, doesn't matter. Have better RNG with poisons, doesn't matter. Kael is never going to overtake Rhonda in a Red Affinity scenario, whether it's Dragon, whether it is Clan Boss like we see in front of us here. So this is why I elected to kind of delay my progress a little bit at the start to invest into Rhonda, because it was going to be easier for me to hit my main focus, which was, as soon as I pulled Geomancer, I said, I'm set for Clan Boss. I'm going to be hitting Nightmare so early. I mean, like I said, I'm 3-keying Brutal right now, and I only have 2 6-stars, right? So top chest, I overshoot the top chest right now with just 3 keys. I think I'm about 5 million damage over, because my personal best was, I don't know, 9 point something million, but that's just with 2 6-stars. Geomancer isn't 6-star, he doesn't have masteries on him, so that's kind of big. One installment to this is going to be that I recently finally got the books to full. I mean, it took all the books, unfortunately, but his A3 is fully booked. So I spent every single epic book I got and put it straight into this guy. I have 1 remaining here, so I can focus on the next epic. Is it going to be somebody I have? Probably not. So Geomancer, he does really well without being 6-star in masteries. Will his damage improve even more? Yes, but I'm hesitant to make him the next 6-star because I don't think I'm ready with a 5-man team just yet to make a solid Nightmare Clan Boss team. So my plan right now is simply to keep farming food. That's the free-to-play way, especially in early game. For anyone really, unless you're a whale and you just buy food. I'm slowly saving, this is the key here, I'm slowly saving champions for the Raz Infusion here. I wasn't going to do this, but I got unlucky, I guess, since Geomancer. I haven't really pulled anything valuable here, but I did get Bloodfeather. So Bloodfeather is going to be an epic champion, part of the Raz Infusion. So I saved myself 4 rares, 4 Ascension on 4 rares, and 4 4-star food, and 3, 6, 9, 12 3-star food for these champions. So I said, you know what? Let's see how far we can get. I do have a few champions here and there. Some of them are farmable, some of them are not farmable, of course, here. So I'm going to have to get lucky with green shards. Luckily, the green shards I'm not short of at all, since I'm just permanently farming food here. There are a few champions I can farm and get up here, and in the meantime, I'm going to be looking for these other champions, trying to get them getting ready for the Raz Infusion, because what I'm planning in my head is, I haven't had to use my legendary books, as I kind of showed you already. I don't need to book Rhonda. Rhonda, she's not one of those you need to book champions, because like I said, her main benefit is mastery damage, right? So what of her skills are increasing mastery damage? Nothing. Would this help me in the arena? I guess the 20% damage on the AoE is going to help me in arena, but arena is such a joke, I would never focus on that aspect of the game here. So as far as Rhonda being way worse than Kael, I'm not about it. I understand it's a worst speed strategy to go for Ronda first because you have to wait the first 7 days to get the champions and you have to level her to 50, then to 60 after that. Is it a slower start champion? 100%. But I'm not in any challenge. I'm not here to speed run and quit this account in 1 month, 2 months like you're going to see from a lot of people if they haven't already quit their free-to-play adventures, trying this burst strategy, trying to get top of the leaderboards, sprint the fastest, whatever they want to do. So I'm taking this slow and steady. I'm enjoying myself. If you watch me stream, you'd know I've been enjoying myself. Why am I wasting time doing these artifact challenges? To keep my sanity. If you're free to play, you don't want to sit into 12-3 brutal for too long because it's just really, really boring. Now I have slowly started to make my way into Nightmare. I got the 5 Ancients. I said maybe I'll get lucky because I really needed a 5th champion to kind of round out my roster here. I hit a brick wall trying to fight Queen Eva. She was just gapping me so hard. So I do have some silver, nothing crazy. I mean, we do need silver, but like I said, nothing too crazy there. The gems are going to be nice. The next major thing on this milestone is going to be the 135 stars where I get the epic speed gear. Really looking forward to that. It's going to help my account, maybe, if I get lucky, a ton. Now, clan boss, I already talked about this. I am currently, where is this? Caps lock stuck. We got 22.16 million. Top chest is 21.6. I did 1 can void, which was a huge mistake because you know if you have Geomancer, you want to always be hitting affinity, regardless of if it's negative or strong for it. Affinity is going to be key because more hits happen for affinity. More hits means more damage from Geomancer. So that's what we're doing here, and that was my mistake, which is why I'm so close and I haven't overshot it. Also, I fully booked him on the last key, so the 2 keys were without the fully booked Geomancer, and only 1 key, which is my personal best just before recording this, was with a fully booked Geomancer, which helped me out so much, and of course, as what I expected. As far as dungeon goes, we're doing pretty decent. Unfortunately, I was busy with birthday events on Sunday, so I missed the Void Keep. Why am I talking about the Void Keep? Because that's where I'm at for missions. I focused on missions because it was something to do, kept my mind going while I was streaming and talking to people, and I was just plowing through all of the missions. I stopped when I got here. This was probably the biggest mistake I've made, despite what people say about what they think they know about free-to-play. This was my biggest mistake, not finishing this part during the 1 week where everything was open, right? I should have gone further than this for sure. I was more than capable of doing all of this on the first 7 days. The potion keeps were available to me at all times, so now I have to wait, unfortunately, until Sunday and the Void Dungeon opens and I can start blasting through all the way looking for, I mean, we're really trying to get Arbiter, right? Arbiter is huge for this. There's not too many brick walls for this account at least, and it's going to give me access to more shards. More shards are good because I can pull more with more shards. What do we got here? Where's the here regular pack? I live off these things. Unfortunately, that one did not have any energy in it, but we did get 500, so we got some work to do for sure here. Now, outside of that, I did unlock the altar. I don't have Rhonda. She hasn't appeared for me yet. That's probably the first soul I'm going to get. I've considered going after Geomancer if he does appear. And one thing I just remembered is the wish list. Okay, I had that set up. Perfect. So I'm curious as to what my first legendary is going to be on this account. I'm excited for it for a couple of reasons. I'm going to tell you this right now. No matter what legendary I get, even if it's considered the worst one in the game, I'm going to make it work. I promise you I'm going to make it work because it's a lot of fun to do that. Now, I've been stuck at a brick wall here. I am on stage 50 right now, trying to fight the Griffin, and I can get it to, I'm telling you, 5% HP. Literally 5%, like this much, and then I die because I don't have enough raw damage and my 5th champion is not strong enough. So I guess I should go back and kind of clarify who that 5th champion is. So the team I've been running is this right here. I've tried every combination that you can think of. I've tried pretty much every single RNG variable. Now, if I sit here for 2 hours, 3 hours maybe, I will get enough RNG with the passive procs of Rhonda and mastery procs to kill this. However, not having a 5th champion having to use Spirit Host has been a major L for me. Now, one investment thing I'm looking into right now is possibly swapping an Armiger and seeing if he can do enough damage before he inevitably gets one shot to put me in good standing to kill this easier. I haven't struggled on anything Doom Tower related. None of these stages were a problem. I one or two shot them, and if I didn't one shot them, I just put it on manual and it was very easy. So I can definitely go a lot higher. I was curious as to how I was going to do on this boss here, but ended up being surprisingly easy. Like we say, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. People aren't struggling too much on floor 30 when they're 13 days in, but I think I'm making pretty decent progress with the methodology I am in fact using. Of course, I don't have people spam leveling all the way to 50. It would be nice. I do have one referral myself here, but that is another thing that people who are doing this challenge had over me when I was doing this, saying you're doing this all wrong. There was also that increased legendary rate from new accounts they released at similar to the same time the free-to-play series started, where tons of players had extra legendaries. So every account's going to be different. It depends who you have. You cannot say this is the strategy for free-to-play early game. You have to go with this. It just doesn't work that way. You see who you pull, and then based on who you pull, you make a plan. I pulled Geomancer, so the plan was very, very simple. Clan Boss is my strong suit. He's also going to carry me in dungeons. I get extra survivability with this passive here when the HP burn is applied here. So now what are my options here? If I don't invest into someone that can carry me through the negative affinities, I'm going to be in trouble, because as good as Geomancer is, he's not good enough to carry me through red affinity dungeon bosses, clan bosses to an extent, when my goal is to hit those highest chests possible in the shortest amount of time possible. So that is why I went with Rhonda and then Kael. Second, of course, Kael is going to carry me over decently. So I am considering now who my next 6-star is going to be. Is it going to be Geomancer, or should I just say I'm happy with what he's doing for now? He doesn't have mastery, so he's going to be the next champion I mastery for sure. Don't think I need Deacon at 6-star. He's pretty much there to go first to get the extra turn, and that is it. Jamarsa, don't have the gear for her yet, unfortunately. She's a really good survivor. She's been doing well for me. What I'm going to do before anything is get this passive unlocked with Ascensions, because while it's not going to help out someone like a Geomancer who already has a 3-turn cooldown, since I have booked her, this is going to help out champions like Deacon, Rhonda to an extent. This A2 does do significantly more damage than the A1, so there is some slight advantage there. I don't think I'd ever need to reset this A3 cooldown, especially in a dungeon environment, but we will see how it goes. I do have Genbo. I'm not too set on leveling up Genbo outside of for maybe like Faction Wars here. Armiger, as we already discussed, is probably someone I will consider taking to maybe 5-star, seeing how well he does. He does need a ton of gear and investment, so I'm a bit hesitant. I did pull a Flesh Tear, who's interesting. Decreasing the duration of buffs, increasing the duration of enemy debuffs. I mean, that speaks for itself. That's rather strong. A heal and increasing the duration of ally buffs. Now, he would go very well into making Spirit Host a much better champion with this block debuffs that's only lasts for 1 turn. If I can get this to a 2-turn and sync it pretty well, I mean, it is a 5-turn cooldown, but if I can sync it with Flesh Tear, that can come in handy, especially for Clan Boss if I am trying to kind of make some type of team that's going to start into 3 or 4 key Nightmare as soon as possible. So these are all things that are running through my mind as I slowly build up food here. I have, let's see, I don't have a ton of food, actually, now that I look at it. I have a 1, 2, 3 5-star, so I have 2 more 5-star chickens to make, and then I have to make a choice, or I can just keep on saving and pray for some champion to come out on itself here. I've been playing heavily around all of these tournaments, right? This is another thing that people weren't considering when they were messaging me in my DMs or in my comment section saying, Murder, you're doing free-to-play wrong. It's not subject to opinion, you're factually doing this wrong. So I've been playing around the events here. I've been getting tons of extra books, shards, you name it, silver, ascension potions. So if you want to speed run through this, you're not waiting for events. You're just not. You're just going at 100 miles per hour all the time, and you're kind of ignoring everything around you. If you get extra stuff, good. If you're not, it's whatever. So I wanted to make this video and update you on this free-to-play account. It's been fun. It's a breath of fresh air. I've been thinking more about raid as far as the theory crafting goes, more on this count than I have in a very long time. Usually it's just for new content that comes out. When a new boss comes out, I figure it out in, I don't know, 3 hours, 1 hour, 2 hour on the test server. I make guides for you guys. You guys beat the boss. You say, hey, nice comp, worked well, first day, and that's kind of it. But this is giving me a lot to think about because this is one of those things, like I said, where there's not just one guide on how to beat the early game. You don't beat the early game. You see how you can most efficiently approach it based on the pulls you get, and you kind of go from there. So that's been my fun. If you guys have started a free-to-play account, let me know how that's going for you here. The other thing I didn't really talk about is going to be Tag Arena. That's kind of a mess, right? So I look for easy battles. I mean, this is not easy. As much as I'd love to say this is an easy battle here, yeah, no. You guys know if you're in the early game trying to mess with a team like that, even teams with tons of 5-star champions, I will struggle with a little bit. But I've been winning a decent amount. I've been considering about Drexthar. I know it takes like 100 days to get him, but I cannot consistently get 360 bars. So until I get that last 5th man that I keep talking about, I just might start saving up for ancient shards and start rolling the dice here. As you can see, my first 1,000 bars did in fact go into the energy, because energy is so important for me this early on into the game for sure here, and I don't think I'm ready to start committing to Drexthar. I know he's good, I know he carries in the Doom Tower for later on, and I know every single time I wait a day, I'm falling behind. I do get that, but like I said, I have to think about it more because I'm not sure if I'm ready to commit to Drexthar. It's not as bad because of the dupe system. I have Faction Guardians if I do end up pulling him as my first one, which I would love, by the way. And the one thing I do want to show you guys, which I was surprised about, is my Spider Team. So I'm farming all of the good stages, right? I'm farming stage 13 for a chance at a 6-star piece, and I am farming stage 10 for Spider. Now, I was interested about this. So for some reason, this team works really well. Now, I haven't really been into the Spider. I will do it for the video, of course, here. We'll put on full auto for you guys. So I think it's been since I got, I think, day 2. So, what, 9 days of playtime since I actually looked into this. But it was interesting how well this worked. Even when Geomancer wasn't fully booked, I didn't have the gear I have now on these champions here. This team just ran flawlessly and so smoothly that it kind of shocked me, because I don't have an HP burn that's an AoE, right? I'm not getting, I guess, the full value of the passive from Geomancer because there is a heal, but something interesting happens, which maybe the speed tune's different now and it won't happen. We're going to find out very quickly here. So let's see if it happens. Okay, it didn't happen here, but what was happening prior to this, when I farmed this for 200 energy, 300 energy to get my basic accessories done for this, is Kael used that ability, and he would one-shot all of the Spiderlings right before Spiderling Horde happened where he would heal. So the boss just wasn't healing. He was eating 2 spiders every time I did this, and that's it. So it worked out really well. My times obviously gotten way better. I'm pretty sure this should be a record once this is done. Let's see. Minute 21 seconds. Okay, so it's not. So it actually worked out when I had less gear and less speed. And this is an attack amulet. We need the silver, so we're going to sell that. So I was really surprised about this because Spider's a big struggle, and Rhonda and her mastery damages made it so easy. Because AoE is nice. It is nice, but you really need that single target damage to getting the Spider down. And of course, Geomancer with the decreased turn meter. I mean, what more can you ask for? So that's kind of a recap on my dungeons and pretty much everything on this account in the, how many days again? 13 days that I've been playing this account. It's been going well. I can say my progression's been smooth. I haven't been like try-harding to maximize the efficiency of rushing. I have been enjoying myself. I've been taking my time with all of these challenges the best I can, even though it's probably not the best thing. I will show you my Great Haul. Another thing, people are like, you have to go for accuracy. I don't know why people are living in the past. I've made so many videos about this. Accuracy was good before the Forge. I haven't hit any accuracy checks at all. I haven't been resisted because I don't have enough. I've never struggled to get any accuracy because all you need is an accuracy chest and perception 2-piece. When that's not enough, you need a perception 4-piece. When that's not enough, you need a perception 6-piece, and you'll hit all of the accuracy checks. I'm not even considering a banner here. So all things considered, I have been fine here. Now, I had been using this accuracy banner for clan boss, but when I went to do and progress through the Griffin, which is why you, of course, see the crazy difference in accuracy, you might be thinking murder, thinking back to that other thing you showed me about Kael being bad on red affinity. You can make all the excuses you want. Ronda was the better choice for what I'm doing here. You can argue until you're blue in the face, which I've done with so many people in the comment sections, but you just have to get over it. So I'm using this accuracy banner for all dungeon and clan boss content, but for the Doom Tower specifically, the accuracy checks are so low for that. I have to use this HP banner or he just gets completely dominated. I don't know why Kael's so squishy compared to Ronda, but it is what it is. So that's going to conclude this video, giving you guys an update on my progress here. It's been fun. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying your free-to-play accounts if you do still have them. And I look forward to updating you on the next set of progress for this account. I would say I'm not going to do it every day. I think that's stupid. Maybe we'll check in on day 19, right? We're going to get an ancient shard. We'll probably have more shards from any events we've been doing in the meantime here. We really need to pull that 5th champion. We really need to pull that 5th champion to kind of round out this roster here. So until next time, I will see you then.